We are back on the show, and it is time. Time for the ultimate next round. We're back in the lower bracket, and we're going to watch the Apex Predators take on to Molotov Gaming for what could be setting the tone for the rest of the season with two somewhat evenly matched teams. I do believe they have not played each other yet, and I do not stand corrected on that because I've just checked the bracket and they did indeed not have play against each other yet. But this could be setting the tone for the rest of the season. These are two teams that could be standing in the grand finals too. That probably will be standing in the grand finals in some event, maybe even in the season final. But who can say that for sure? Because this competition is once again very close, and we did see some smaller surprises. And we did see quite a close match between the Apex Predators and Lunana yesterday. Whoever wins this match goes up against the loser of Shorkeys and Lunana, and that could be a rematch for either team, depending on who loses the upper bracket match. What do we think?
Molotov Apex Predators. We've got Enderin and Causer facing off. Let me see, Liz and Catbag. I haven't seen much of Enderin and Causer, I feel like, yet. So I'm not sure how they are going to do. I mean, they've made it to here, so they're going to do fine. But I don't specifically know. I don't have enough information yet. Let me put it that way. We've seen Lit and Catbag just in the previous round. And I mean, we know they can be fast. I think it's going to be a very close game, and I really can't predict who is going to take it. Of course, at the same time, it's going to be the Shorkeys versus Lunana. We might see a rematch of that match in the grand final. One of them is going to go straight to the grand final, and one of them is going to take a detour in the lower bracket final and will face off against either Molotov or Apex. And we could see the same grand final as we are seeing Shorkeys Lunana. The grand final, we will, of course, watch, but this time we've chosen to check out Molotov versus Apex because one of those teams we will not see anymore. There is another cast, I believe, of Shorkeys Lunana. I think it's Tintin. There might be some POVs, I'm not sure. Be sure to check those out as well. Yeah, it's going to be a good one. The teams are on the server. Match starts in 40 seconds. We will be going to the pick and ban phase. I mean, it's top 4 time. This is always when it gets really exciting, really spectacular. The teams are more evenly matched. We might see some 3 mappers. I think this one is this one still 3 or best of 5? Still best of 3, if I'm not correct. This pick ban is not live, actually. Oh, this pick ban is not live. Okay. Then we will see what happens there. I'm just gonna wait and see what happens. But yeah, best of 3 or best of 5? Best of 3 still, right? Just to make sure that I have it correctly, Neon, or anyone
That's a good question.
in
the overlay says best of 5. At least, or more like the draft phase.
Maybe it is best of 5. There is a pick ban going on. So is this not live?
Best of 35? No, we're not playing snooker here. I'm sorry.
No, we're not. There are some pick and bans going on. Oh, it might be a best of 5 if this is what's happening, because the picks are there's no bans. There's just picks. But Fabs is yelling it's not live, so I'm going to assume that it is not. And we're just going to wait for more information. Like I said, this one isn't live. Yes, this one isn't live. So we're just going to go back to more yapping for now until we know what's actually going on, which is totally fine. We are just waiting for more information. And in the meantime, yeah, Liz and Catbagasm versus Andrin and Causer. I mean, we know they
Probably
can be
one of
fast.
probably one of the closer matches too in this
Yeah.
specific bracket. I believe there is a slight advantage towards Apex Predators because both of them have been looking mighty quick. Both of them can be really explosive. Both of them can just steal wins left, right, and center. Also from someone as quick as Causer. But we cannot underestimate Causer here. Causer might just be in the form of her life for this specific event and just win the entire thing almost single-handedly. But there is going to be more to be seen. I was gonna say it like that. We do, of course, have some fans for both teams in the chat once again. So if you want to support your favorite players, please,
Let's hear it.
yeah, make some noise in the chat.
Also, interestingly, the seeding from last week, Apex Predators was seeded in 2nd place, Molotov Gaming was seeded in 4th place. So if you just look at that on paper, Apex Predators is the higher seeded team and might have more chances. But I mean, in matches like these, honestly, nothing can happen. Or anything can happen, and nothing will surprise me anymore. I mean, I'll probably be surprised by many things, but yeah, it's gonna be good. We're being asked for a ready check now, so I think we are just about ready to go for it.
Yeah, always ready, of course. We also have an I love Nando message somewhere in a channel. Yeah, things are still a bit chaotic. And yes, we're still going to blame Nadeo for it.
There it
but
is.
we're in the draft phase. And we do not have Fabs telling us that this is not live, so I'm just assuming it is live. One more day is the first map picked, the flip comes second, Valorate third, Red Barricade fourth, and Carousel as the decider. I'm certainly hoping we're going to 5 maps here because what else would be interesting? We do have the entire map roster that has been released so far. Of course, we do get 2 new maps for the next event. And that
We'll
makes
announce those at the end as well.
That makes the entire draft phase a little more complex. But we're going to be onto that in time.
The match is starting in 2 seconds. We have Andrin and Causer versus Catbag and Liz. I think it's going to be a good one. We are playing for a spot in the lower bracket final. And of course, against elimination, because whoever loses this matchup will be out. Unfortunately, we will have to say goodbye to one of these teams. But the other one we will see again. The warm-up has started. We are on the map called One More Day. And that map is built by Vingumi. I'm gonna follow one of the players here. Let's go. We're ready. Neon. Take it away.
Round 1. Molotov versus Apex. As we said, probably the closest match we get for the moment. Whoever goes out here is at least in the top 4, so that is the result not to be shy about. We do have a quick start, and Darren just scraping the wall makes the speed check, so hasn't suffered too much from it. Causer is still trying to get close to the Apex Predators, hovering around in 3rd place. But it looks like she has a little bit of a quicker line, and now they're basically all even into the hairpin. Causer is in the lead for the moment, and looks like she can keep that also into the plastic section. Liz in 2nd, Catback in 3rd, into the 3rd turn, last turn, speed check once again. Causer takes the win with Liz and Catback in 2nd and 3rd. A draw for the 1st round.
Just like that, securing the draw for her team. We are starting with a draw 1-1. We're off for round 2 Let's see how many draws we can collect this time. Yesterday we had a match with 22 draws in one matchup, which was pretty insane. Let's see if we can break that record. For now, Kaiser was in the lead, but now has a little bit of an awkward line and has to give way to Liz and Catbag, who are taking over. But also Andorin is still in the party, trying to secure another draw for her team. In order to do that, she must overtake both the ladies from Apex, and for now they have a bit of a lead on her by 0.1, and it is extending. It's getting a little bit bigger, and we see Andorin trying to get closer here. You want to get as much speed as you can to jump into that finish. Both ladies from Apex get it beautifully. A 50.7 is the winning time by Catbag, and suddenly the ace puts it on 1-4 for Apex.
Surprisingly weak run from Kaiser, I have to say. Andorin blatantly quicker than her teammate in this round. But I'm sure that Kaiser is going to repay the favor here. Goes up away in the distance for the moment, is in first place. Catback following in second, with Liz currently in third. And Darren trailing the field. But we're not even half a second apart from each other as Liz hits the pole with the right rear tire. Catbag is now chasing Kaiser all by herself. Can the Norwegian claim that first place, or is the British driver going to get it back home? Beautiful line through the hairpin. Catbag with a not so clean landing, and Darren comes back at her and is in second place for the moment. Another crash for Catbag, and Darren gets a PB, and that's the counter race for Molotov.
Kaiser is actually, of course, the live round holder. When you see world record at the top left there, I want to clarify this for everyone watching. That is the live in rounds record. So we're not looking at offline practice, anything like that. That is purely the in-event record being driven. And right now, that is on Kaiser's name, and this is the one we are watching right now. Kaiser takes the lead in this round as I talk about her, and there is Catbag in pursuit, but very, very close to Kaiser still. Liz also only 0.2 behind, and Andorin about half a second to make up for, and it is Catbag with a nice line, and now suddenly really neck and neck with Kaiser, but Kaiser has a little bit of a better drift there, takes a little bit of a gap there on the plastic, and now we are going into that last outside dirt line where you really don't want to touch it because that's going to ruin your risky finish. Kaiser does manage to get in first place with a 50.192, and that is very fast. Catbag does drive a PB though, but we have a draw, and we are back 5-5 in this round. We're halfway on paper.
And it looks like we're getting really close and personal at the top of the standings. Kaiser is still looking like the quickest driver here, but Catbag is getting closer and closer to that rounds record. And we're seeing once again a beautiful line from Catbag through the grass part. Kaiser can defend the first place for the moment, but Liz is also up in the equation, with the Darren in fourth place, the German waiting for something to happen that allows her to snatch away a place at the top. Catbag now takes over the lead. Can Kaiser respond to that into the last turn? That was so close to the wall, but Catbag does not clip it, and she just takes home the round. 5/100ths of a second ahead of Kaiser, with Liz making the victory for Apex.
Wow, and just like that, Apex is on on track point. They need the ace. Wait, something happened there at the start. Liz had a really bad start there and is immediately looking at more than half a second. Andorin also with some kind of mistake, and now it is going to be battle between Kaiser and Catbag in the front to see who takes the win. Of course, if Apex takes an ace here, it's going to be over for this map. But this is Kaiser with a little bit of an awkward line there, an entry into the dirt that doesn't quite go the way she wanted it. Catbag is able to take advantage, takes the lead, and Kaiser is now working to make up for about 0.2, 0.3. It's not going to be the ace if it looks like this. Andorin a little bit too far behind as well to do something about it, but Kaiser just makes up for that just overtakes in that last turn with a beautiful line and secures the draw. Wow. Coming out of nowhere.
Get back precisely with a 50.555. There's almost no more beautiful time to drive here, I suppose. But yeah, apart from the numbers, also pretty strong round from the top two once again. Liz with a beautiful third place. Both teams on track point, you're mentioning it, for good reason. Apex need a victory, Molotov need an ace. Any other result is not going to end this specific track, rather, not the match, because we're still on map 1. And so far it looks pretty clean, but Molotov are looking for an ace. Catbag makes a mistake there, clips the inside, and Darren is currently in second. Can Liz steal it away? No, she cannot. The map goes to Molotov. There is the ace, and Darren with a PB. Is there any better time to set a PB here?
End to this track. Suddenly, out of nowhere, there's the ace, and Molotov says, "Thank you, we'll take that." And they're now 1-0 in maps. And of course, when you're going for a best of 5 in maps here, every map is so very important because it's going to be a marathon. You really need to get those maps and hit the opponents where it hurts, so to speak, and that is what they have just done. We are on the flip, not a map we've seen a lot this event this weekend. I think we've witnessed it once in a map with who was it? It was the rice buns versus someone, I'm not sure.
Meow.
Meow, it was Meow indeed. So yeah, I don't know if they have driven this, but we're ready to get into it. Time for cinema, says Causer in the chat, and I am so here for it. Neon, take it away.
Absolutely time for a cinema. We are into the first round. We haven't seen the flip in a while, but these teams are definitely capable of driving it consistently and strongly. All 4 players get cleanly over the first jump into the first flip. Unfortunately, Andera doesn't make it, has to respawn here. Catback is comfortably in the lead with Causer about 2 tenths behind, but Catback is out of the equation for now. What happened there? It goes so quick. And next one, Causer with a clip. And now Liz is in the lead. Is there anything to be done by the British driver? For Molotov, Liz is a bit slower. Causer is quicker. Is it enough to steal away the first place? It's going to be super close, but it's so close. And Liz holds on to it. The Austrian running the race, taking the win and the victory for Apex.
Well, if this first round promises something, it is promising some spectacular stuff that we're going to be witnessing on this map. The flip is made by Maji, and we are flipping here for it. Let's go into round 2. Apex is ahead 2-1, but we are still only in round 2, so anything can happen. We're going to look at this first drift here, the jump into that dirt section to the left. It is Liz with a bit of a bad landing. The first flip. Do they all get it? They all get it, but Catback has a bit of an awkward landing. Also, that was Causer with a clip or some kind of something that happened, and it is now Anderen in the lead, but Liz has more speed and overtakes first place. We're going into that second jump, which if you're too low, you can also clip that entry, but Liz gets through it nicely. Catback with another crash. Anderen now overtakes, but touches the wall, and now it is Liz again, who is in first, takes another win on this map. This time it is Causer in second place. Anderen will take a third place and Catback in a fourth. We have a draw. It is now 2-3 and the Apex Predators are still in the lead, but the gap is very tiny.
And this track is just so difficult to get right. It has to be said like that. So far, Catback taking the wrong route as it seems. And that means we once again have a 1-2 for Molotov. Causer gets a beautiful jump done, and Darren takes the safer route, which is of course slower, has to make do with the slow motion, drops back to last place. But Liz is now in the lead, Causer in second, and Darren has to respawn again. Catback in third. Is there anything to be done for the Norwegian about this? Causer seems to be attacking. Liz takes the lead for the moment. Is there
Touches.
any more action in the tag? No, Kazar is out. Kazar has to respawn. Liz takes the win. Catback comes home in second. It's an ace for Apex. That was not as planned for Kazar. Guaranteed.
My goodness. Yeah, Causer had a better line, but then went a little bit too much inside and just touched the wall. And there's that acceleration penalty, and that just... You feel like you're coming to a full stop. It is 2-6. Apex is not yet on track point, but a draw, and they will be. So it is really important now for Molotov to put an ace on the board. But there is Catbag actually touching a little bit, losing some speed. It is... yeah, Liz chose the safe route, but Causer and Andrian both get a really good flip, and they will be in the lead. Together, they drive with about half a second to spare. Some different lines here. It looks like Catback has more speed and just drives up to second place. Liz has to respawn. Andrian still in the lead. Can she hold on to it? It does look like Catback has more speed, but is it gonna be enough? No, Andrian does make it in time with only 16 thousandths of a second between the two. Wow. Both ladies driving a PB on this map. It's a victory for Molotov. Apex is on track point. They need an ace, but Molotov closes the gap a little. It's only 3 points now.
Very happy for Darren. Finally wins a round in this match. Very well done from the German. Has done such a great job in this specific one. Kaiser has to respawn early, and that puts Apex in a dream situation. But also, Andarian respawns now. Catbag is now comfortably in the lead because Liz once again takes the safe route. And Darren with another respawn. Kaiser 4 seconds behind her Austrian rival. Is there anything to be done for Molotov about this? Liz comfortably in second. Catbag more than comfortably in the lead and keeps it super clean. Comes home, sets a new rounds record.
Wow.
And Liz comes home in second to make it an ace. There we go. The flip goes to Apex. And they did it in style.
It is indeed a new rounds record, and she beat it by 0.9, and that actually shows as well how little this map has been driven so far. There just haven't been a lot of times set, and I think we're now finally getting to that point where we can see a little bit about what the best times on this map are going to be. Apex ties it up in maps with 410. Very nice, spectacular stuff happening on the flip. We're going to Valorate. That is the third map on the menu. Of course, we are driving a best of 5 this time. So basically, it's back to square one. We're tied, and we're going to map 3. Well, we have a warm-up for 30 seconds. We've seen this map quite a bit, so the world record in rounds is a little bit more from what you would expect. Switch has it at the moment. Switch, who is now driving in one match as well versus the Shorkies. But here, we're going to watch Catbag, Liz, and Rena Kaiser, and they're going to battle it out on Valorate in 1 second. Neon.
I'm very happy that this is not going to be potentially the last. We have seen a lot of Valorate, and it creates great racing. But of course, do want to see more. And we see Liz with a compromised line. I think she tagged the wall there. Not quite as consequential as later on in the map, but she still loses 0.6 of a second. Kaiser in the lead, Catbag chasing, and Darren waiting in third place for a chance to shine. But there's still a whole lot of track ahead of us. Into the dirt turn, beautifully done from Kaiser once more. Catback cannot quite keep the speed, and Darren now trying to snatch that second place away, can't quite do so. Into the water wheel section, beautifully done from all 3 of them, but Liz has to respawn. I think Kaiser has just avoided to clip the wall and comes home in the risky finish. Catback in second. Liz steals away the 3rd place though, because the Darren once again has to respawn, and that makes it a draw.
And now we are really a draw all over the board in maps and on the board. 1-1 for both teams. We're going into round 2 on this map of Valorate. And for now, All four ladies have a decent start. Andorin and Catbag for now in the front, but Andorin and Kaiser are chasing them down, and here's that gap that always looks so scary. They're going so close to it. There's so many gaps and clips and edges here that you have to avoid. This is really a tough map with a lot of very precise lines. We're coming up to that water section where that drift with the reactor can make really weird changes happen to the standing. And there, Catback, my god, that line was insane. I thought she was going to clip. She didn't clip. She gets first place and PB. 47.268 is what she puts on the board. Kaiser in second place. Liz in third. That means it is a victory for Apex, and they put themselves 2-3.
We're now also in possible rounds record territory. 9/100ths of a second missing to switches record here. Catbag and Kaiser both well within reach to claim that. But for now, Catbag, quote unquote, only 9/100ths of a second off. Kaiser once again with a quicker start. Liz in second, just about in second, because Catbag is barely behind. Takes away the second place from Wall Street teammate now for the moment. And Darren is once again trading the field and looks like has lost a bit of pace in the middle section into the wet wheel section. Once again, beautiful line, daring line from Catbag, but not quite quick enough to steal it away from Kaiser. Can Kaiser make something big happen? 47.4, that's a strong time. But with Catbag and Liz in second and third, it's once again only enough for a draw.
And this finish and the line leading up to it, it looks so scary. And I've seen from players commenting as well that this finish is really pretty something. So I expect some more crashes to happen there and upsets on the finish line. But let's see if the ladies can keep their head cool. 3-4 is the score in favor of Apex on this map of Valorate. And right now it is Kaiser takes the lead just ahead of Catbag and Liz, and Andorin in the rear, but only 0.3 behind, so ready to snipe whatever is clipping or making any kind of mistake here. Kaiser still in the lead on that outside dirt line. We're going into the water section where anything can happen as well. We have Catbag with another beautiful line. Look at that, just overtakes just like that. Kaiser now facing second place and will finish. We have a new rounds record. There it is, Catbag with a 0.168. Kaiser drives a PB, but Catbag just absolutely smashed it. 4-6, wow.
Catbag is on a tear right now, and also on a mission to claim as many rounds records as possible, apparently. That's 2 out of 5. Maybe we're gonna see a little more in the next few maps, but looks like Catbag is warmed up, fired up, and ready to race. And Kaiser is struggling to get on the same pace, but this time around, beautiful plastic section keeps the car a bit straighter into the long turn. Beautiful line from both of them on the dirt. This is going to be one of the closest rounds, I can feel it. But as I said, Kaiser's losing a little bit of speed into the water section. Once again, really close line, but too close to the wall from Catbag this time around. Can't actually do anything about Kaiser. Now she can, in fact, not. Kaiser brings it home with a 47.7. Catbag at second, and Darren makes it a victory for Molotov.
Victory for Molotov indeed. That puts them on 7-6. And that also puts Apex on track point, but only if they can get the ace. If Molotov happens to win this one, we will once again be tied and they'll both be on track point. So let's see if Apex can put the ace on the table. For now, they are having a good start. The both of them, Catbag and Liz, in the lead, trailing. Kaiser and Andorin trailing, but the field is still very, very close apart. Look, Kaiser is pushing it, knows she has to do something, can let them have the ace, because then suddenly you are 2 maps behind. Look at that. Kaiser is absolutely racing for the win here, already overtaking Liz, and now has to also stay ahead of Catbag. They are neck and neck in this last turn. Who's going to get most speed on the finish? It is Kaiser, who manages to stay ahead by 0.008 of a second, a 0.5 is the winning time. We're tied. Both of them are now on track point. Apex needs a victory. Molotov needs an ace. If they tie, then we are going for another round.
Are you kidding me? Another 8 1,000ths of a second difference. It is only getting closer. I don't have words for it. But this time around, it seems like Catback has been going for a little detour that is certainly going to cost a few points. Let's see if she can catch up. 1.7 seconds down on Kazer, 1.3 on Darren. So far, it seems like Kazer is not going quite full pace, but quick enough to stay ahead of Liz for the moment. This specific section is, of course, Catback's specialty, but she's not in the equation for now. Has to respawn. Kazer brings it home quite beautifully, you have to say. 47.3. Liz in second, and Darren makes it a victory for Molotov, and we're at 9-9. Whoever wins the next round going to take map number 3.
And Liz was in a precarious position there because if she were to be overtaken by Andorin, it would have been over. So she had to stay ahead of at least one of them, and she managed to do that. It is 9-9. Both of them are on track point. A draw will not do anything. It will just extend everything. Oh, and we have an early mistake here by Liz. Any victory or ace now will end this track. Catbag now has to be in first place in order to save this map for her team. And Kazer and Andorin are on a mission, and the mission is be ahead of Catbag. But we know Catbag can be so fast here. She has that crazy line in the reactor section. See if she can do that. She's just a little bit behind Kazer now, but we're not there yet. Anything can happen.
This is in third.
Liz is in
This
third?
is in third.
Oh, wow. Okay, so well, that's a draw. Look at that. Catbag now overtaking. And if she can hold on to this and Liz is in third, that's going to be it. But now suddenly, no, she can't. Kazer, it's an ace. What is it? What? It's an ace. Catbag crashes into the finish. Kazer manages to finish in first place. Andorin is in second place because Liz also had to respawn one more time. Just like that, this match, or this map, goes to Molotov. What?
What is going on?
What?
That went from really good for Molotov to really good for Apex to really bad for Apex really quickly. But yeah, Molotov are on match map 2-1 up for the moment. I'm so glad this is a best of 5. And
Wow.
we're on a very special map, Red Barricade. Probably the best thing we can get for this specific occasion.
We haven't seen that a lot.
We did not see that a lot indeed. There is quite a lot incoming now. This could be filled with a lot of action. We did see that this map can be tricky in some regards. We still have a switch record here, which is a pretty telltale sign that Catback is probably going to steal it. But, of course, Kazer is also mighty quick here. And there are so many key places in this map where a round could be won or lost. I'm absolutely looking forward to it. Round 1, Vernon, take it away.
There are indeed quite a few places here where stuff can happen. There's some airtime management, of course. If you have airtime more than your opponent's going to be a little bit faster because you are not accelerating as much. Here we go. Catbag with a really good start here, together with Liz in first and second place. Kazer is now being overtaken by teammate Andorin, and let's take a look at Liz here in second place to see what is happening with this track. Over the grass, you really want to get a low airtime jump here, not too close to this wall on the side. You say hi to the ducky on the other side. Not too much penalty grass if you can, or penalty dirt, and then Catbag has done all that pretty nicely. With a 47.2, we start out with an ace. Liz in second place, and just like that, Apex is on 3-0. And of course, if Molotov wins this track, that's it. They go, they continue. Whoever loses is eliminated.
That's a pretty strong first round for the Apex Predators. Can Causer bounce back from that? Has, of course, overtaken that Aaron, but that was all due in the previous round. Now a little deep into the last plastic turn before the quarter pipe. Beautiful, so much speed for Liz. Not quite the perfect transition into the grass part for both Liz and Causer. Causer now hitting the outside wall there. Is down in 4th place for the moment. And Darren, once again in 3rd. She's so quick on this map. Can she do anything about the Apex Predators? Liz in the lead, Cat back in 2nd. But they keep it clean. They get another ace, this time with Liz taking the win. And Darren at least gets another PB. It's down in the 47s now.
Indeed, in the 47s, but also Apex is on 6 points and Molotov still on 0. Very strong out the gate by the Apex Predators. Molotov really needs to do something here, otherwise we will be going to map 5, which I don't particularly mind, but Molotov might have something to say about that. Catbag is in the lead. We have Causer now poking on the door. Liz has made a mistake, needs to respawn, gets another no slide, has to respawn again. And it is Enderin with a little bit of a gap. The battle is going to be fought in the frontier. Causer and Catbag. Causer, for now, with a bit of a gap, 0.2, and it looks like she will be holding on to that. First place for Causer with a PB, and Catbag in 2nd, Enderin in 3rd, and Liz in 4th. Molotov does win the round, but Apex is on track point. If they get another ace, we're going to map 5.
I think that PB is exactly what Causer needed for confidence now. Maybe it helps. Maybe it assists in turning the tide on this specific map.
Oh,
Unfortunately, Darren hasn't quite felt the tide yet. Has clipped the outside wall and is down by a whole lot of time. Causer's now taking over the lead, and she's so incredibly quick in this middle section. There has been something going on there. Definitely. A lot of confidence gained. Never mind. Caster cursed once again. Catback with a little bit of a suboptimal slide through the middle part. Liz is taking the lead quite comfortably. Catback is now taking the safe route. Comes home 7 turns behind Liz. Not a lot of time lost in the penalty dirt. Causer comes home in 3rd and Darren in 4th. That's an ace for Apex. We're going to map number 5.
Map 5. We're going to be finishing on Carousel. Carousel will be the deciding map here. And wow, I do not know any PBs. We're going to have to take a look at the PBs once we get there, because no doubt they have been driving this map earlier in this event yesterday, maybe even in the round before this. We're going to have to see who comes out on top here. Map 5. I love it when we go to map 5. We're here. I'm here for it. We have 25 seconds of warm-up. Let's see who comes out first. Enderin and Causer in the warm-up, of course. We're only driving there, but they have this outside dirt line. It's all about keeping the speed here in this map. You want to keep the speed with the engine off, with the bobsleigh. And then, of course, we have that pipe in the ending. It doesn't matter if you are in 1st place or in 2nd place. If you fail the pipe, you've got a problem and anything can happen. Neon, round 1.
Catbag takes the lead for the moment. And Darren in 2nd, Liz in 3rd, Causer trailing the field. This is a map Causer really likes. Has the rounds record here. And we can see it through a beautiful bobsleigh turn. So much speed out of it into the engine off section. Half a second in the lead. That is crazy. And Darren now steals away the 2nd place from Liz. Catback is trailing the field for the moment, but Liz is trying to fight it, trying to get that 2nd place back, trying to minimize the damage done by Darren here. But can she hold it? Catback still in 4th and not out of the equation yet. Liz tags the inside, unfortunately also Darren, which means we have Causer taking the win. Catback closing the gap significantly, but only coming home in 2nd, with Darren in 3rd, making it a victory for Molotov in round 1.
Victory for Molotov. That's gotta feel good. At least 2-1. We were still 1 second behind the fastest time that Causer has driven, so we are definitely not at full pace yet. But let's see if they are gonna drive up to it. We have a good start battle for players. Let's see who has the most speed in this bobsleigh. Liz has a bit of a sliding back and forth, and it is Causer once again coming out in first place. Catbag is chasing Enderin in third, and let's see who gets this drift. Of course, with a drift, you don't want airtime when you come out of it, but you want as much exit speed as you can. Here's another outside dirt line, which is very scary, and it is Enderin who touches the outside dirt line. Now we go into that penalty dirt slalom section where you want to hold that nose slide and keep the speed as much as you can. Causer drives up the pipe like it's just a Sunday afternoon. Catbag and Liz, both PB actually. Maybe they haven't driven this map as much, but they do draw, and it is 3-2.
It is telling. Apex Predators are not too big of fans of this map. I do also believe they have banned it quite a lot in the best of threes, but this time around it's not an option. Catbag is now trying to get back into the second place with Liz in the lead for the moment. Causer not quite able to replicate the strong exit from round 1, but still in second place, right on the tail of her Austrian rival. Can she do anything about Liz? For the moment, it doesn't seem like it. Beautiful outside line, and Causer takes P1. For the moment at least, they're still super close to each other. No space between them into the slalom, but Catbag is a lot quicker than both of them. Is there anything to be done here? It seems like Causer can hold it. Catbag steals away the second place. Once again, double PB for Apex Predators, and it's a draw in round number 3.
That puts the score 4-3, still in favor of Molotov, but the gap is still so tiny. There is literally nothing decided here. Of course, whoever wins this map stays in the tournament and has a chance to get into that grand final. But we're not there yet. It is Liz who touches the outside dirt line, and that is a really bad place to have that, especially with that engine off. But Causer is in the lead. Enderin now in second place. If they manage to ace this, that would put them on match point, which would be huge. But of course, they still have to do it, and that pipe is still coming. And we have seen some accidents happen there, and it won't be the first time. Causer going strong in first place. Catback has taken over second place now, going into the slalom. Up the pipe, a little bit too much sliding for her liking, I'm sure, but Causer manages to stay in first place. Catback in second, Enderin in third, and Liz will be a fourth. That's another win for Molotov, puts them 6 points to 4. We're not on match point yet, but oh, we are so close.
6 and 4. If Apex Predators get 2 victories now, we're at 8 points each team. There's everything still to play for. Liz currently in the lead. Clipping outside was Causer. So she's out of the equation for the moment. Catbag is taking over the lead because Liz doesn't get the perfect exit from the bobsleigh. But Darren is still chasing after the Apex Predators. Is there anything to be done here for the German? She has been so quick in previous rounds. Can she do it again? What a magnificent outside line from Catbag. There was no space in between her and the wall. I am sure of that. Into the dirt slalom. And Darren with a little bit of too much of a slide. Can she maybe capitalize off a mistake on the pipes? It doesn't look like it. Catbag brings it home. Alyssa in second makes it an ace for the Apex Predators. And then Darren, despite a good round, only comes home in third.
And just like that, it is Apex Predators who find themselves on match point. They need the ace. That's the only thing that will win them the match. But if they manage to do that, then suddenly this match could be over. Molotov has to overtake the Apex Predators now. Let's see if they are up for it. Right now, they do find themselves in spot 1 and 2, just ahead of Catbag, and Liz is a little bit behind, has lost some speed, more than half a second. So Causer, we know she can be fast. She needs to just do that trick one more time. for now. It is Catbag with a lot of speed coming out of that drift, but touches the edge of the dirt wall and will fall back again to spot 3, even spot 4, overtaken by our own teammate. It's Causer in the lead, Enderin in second place. If they can finish like this, it's gonna be just a guaranteed next round. Guaranteed is the last round. It is 9-7. No matter what result we get, someone is going to win.
Apex Predators need an ace. Every other result is going to send Molotov Gaming to the lower bracket final and Apex Predators out of the tournament. But we do have a strong start from top 3, and Darren also holding on quite well. Causer now in the lead. She's not looking to leave it up to chance.
Catbag touch.
Catbag touching the wall there. That might actually be final nail in the coffin for the Apex Predators here. But Darren also going a little too far, has an airborne moment, another airborne moment. Is there anything to be done for Liz about this lead? She needs to steal it away. She needs Catbag to do the same. Liz can at least keep it clean. Causer and Darren both respawn. Catbag, where are you? Catbag is not there. Causer is in second. Molotov Gaming go to the next round.
Victory.
Takes it home. There were so many respawns and suddenly the door was open, but Molotov manages to stay ahead. 10-9. It can't get any closer than this. I'm telling you, this is as close as it gets. Wow. Holy moly. Molotov is still in it. GG to both teams. I'm going to leave this server. Do we have the other match still going on is the question. I think we do have that match still going on. Because in the standing, I can see that it's 2-2 there as well. The Shorkies versus Lunaina. So I'm going to quickly see if I can join that matchup. Excuse me. We're going to see if we can watch the end of the Shorkies versus Lunaina, the upper bracket final. It is 4-5 on map 5, and Lunaina is just ahead in the point system. They're on the flip. That is a great map to end with. Flip is the one that we want to see. Switch is in the lead for now. Linko in second place. Vingumi with a respawn, and Ciliasta is in third. Switch will take the win with 44.2. Linko drives a PB. But is 0.4 behind, and that means that Lunaina will increase their lead by 2 points. 5-7 is now the score. That puts them on match point. If they win with an ace, they're in the grand final.
A friendly reminder, whoever loses this match will face Molotov Gaming in the lower bracket after a short break. And so far, it looks good for Lunaina, but it's not over. Linko touching the outside wall in the first third turn, but still leaves the flip and beautifully does so. Switch once again in the lead. Vingumi has to respawn. Celias doesn't get a clean flip in. Both of them are multiple seconds behind. But it's down to Switch to keep it clean, because every win she takes is going to put Lunaina closer to that final, to the grand final spot. She's taking the win here. Linko comes home in second once more. Now this is down to Celiast and Vingumi, and it looks like Vingumi can steal away that third place. Not sure what happened to Celiast there, but it is a draw. 6-8. Now victory is enough for Lunaina, while Shorkies still cannot close out the map.
Celiasta had to respawn a couple times and then decided on a double respawn, which of course is a lot of time loss. And that is the overtake for Vingumi. Here we go into the next round. Lunaina has enough with a win, and it is Linko with a clip now. Has to go for the safe route. Also, Vingumi has made a mistake here, and this is opening the door for Lunaina to get into that grand final if they can hold on to this lead. They have 2 seconds on their opponents. All they have to do is cruise to the finish without any respawns. If they can manage that, that's it. That is the grand final for them. It does look like they are able to do that. Switch drives a 43.9. She is cruising to the finish. Still only 0.3 behind the fastest time here. And Celiosta in second. There's the ace. 6:11 is your final score. And we're going to see a lower bracket final between the Shorkies and Molotov. And Luna Aina goes straight to the grand final. Wow. Glad we could catch that last map there. That was a good one. GG. We
2
have our
5 mappers.
2 5 members. Can't get better than that, right? It cannot get better than that.
Absolutely insane. That is precisely what we love Trackmania for. And yeah, we do have a short break ahead of the next game, of course.
I don't
I wish
think
we
so,
could
actually.
just keep going like this.
I'm not sure that we
no,
do
actually,
because it's scheduled for 1945, which was 1 minute ago. So I think we're gonna maybe have like a break for 2 minutes so the ladies can do a little zen for a moment. But we're gonna stay on the air, I think, because I think we're just gonna go straight in. Of course, we have Shorkies versus Molotov Gaming in the lower bracket final. That is the only match that is going on right now, or that's gonna be happening, and then after that we're gonna have the grand final. So I think we're just gonna go into that room and see what's going on there. Are we
Or
gonna
not,
have?
it's not open yet.
Maybe it's not open yet. It could be, but I'm not sure
Yeah,
that we should
it's been
go
moved to 8. Been moved to 8. All right.
All right. Well, we'll see. That was something. 2 5 mappers. I mean, the next 2 matches are also going to be, of course, best of 5. So I'm really hoping we're just going to go. We're going to go all the way one more time because, oh my God, I am so here for it. Love to see it. And when you get into these later rounds of the tournament, I mean, the matches get closer and closer, and the best teams are just battling it out, and they're so evenly matched, and it's just great to see. Shorkies versus Molotov Gaming. What do you think? Who's going to take it?
So hard to say, but I do believe there's going to be a lot of anger in the Shorkey systems after losing in such a close map. Especially having heard that apparently they've been reverse swept. I do believe they want to find the momentum again and bring the fight back to Lunina, so that's precisely what they're going to do. If I had to take a guess, I would say Shorkeys might bring it home, but there's still Molotov Gaming on the other side. They might just take all the momentum they gain from that super strong performance in the lower bracket semifinals and roll over the entire rest of the competition now. So this is still promising to be interesting.
I mean, Enderin and Causer, Causer has multiple round records, of course, and I think Vingumi has some as well, if I'm not mistaken. But I mean, honestly, this could go either way. Let's look at how were they seeded. Shorkies and Molotov. The Shorkies were, of course, seeded in first place, and Molotov in fourth place. So, yeah, Molotov actually knocking out the second seed. Oh, we have a play button, I think. There we go. The room is open. I'm going straight in to see if we have some players already. Not yet, but they will be getting in there soon, of course. Yeah, knocking out a team that is seated higher than you is, of course, already a nice accomplishment. Now, let's see if they can do the same thing with the first seeded team. If they also manage to beat them and then end up in the grand final, that would be quite the upset to just knock out 2 teams that are seated higher than you. Just say, like, we don't care. We're going to just win and beat you and face Lunaina in the grand final. How about that? What if they do that? That would be kind of cool. However, the Shorkies might have something to say about that. So let's see if they can make something happen here. Who will face Lunaina in the grand final? It's going to be quite close. I'm just going to look at production here to see how long we have until the match starts. If anyone from production could let us know, 10 minutes, I think I hear in my ear. Then maybe we do go for a little 5-minute break while we wait for that for that match to start, because of course some of these ladies just came out of a map and are maybe a little bit winded and need a little moment to take a breather. Neon, what do you say? 5-minute break?
Sounds good to me.
All right. Well, then we'll see you all in 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere because we still have 2 spectacular rounds to come.